We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Seattle Seahawks. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here's Walker to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. The Seahawks at 8-2 on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well, because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle there by Jerry Tillery. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Go, Reed, go!
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. They'll try for the first with Walker. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Flush to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, they were advancing the ball. They had a couple first downs under their belt, but a big mistake there on the opening drive leads to 6 points the other direction.
And what a good read that was on his part, Brandon, because it prevents a possible scoring drive with how they were moving things along. And it gives the defense the early advantage of what's going to be a definitely entertaining battle between these units.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year.
Sticking with Walker on second down, and he'll push forward for a couple to the 34. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump. And he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Here's a throw off the scramble, and that's complete out left. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, they run with Michelle. Oh, he's got a little daylight, taking it right down Broadway. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
We know it's primarily a passing league now, but anytime a runner breaks one like that, you've got to have a secondary that can find a way to him and find a way to get him on the ground. Absent of that, he's going to find the end zone every time.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you know, there's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Prescott. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
Returnable here for Callaway. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll send Green in motion left. On 2nd down, Michelle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There's absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And a loose football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking touchdown. Sony Michel. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. Carlson on for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs. Because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. Now Prescott. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
4th down. Prescott going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he'll get that to Michelle, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Report! Hey, report!
Jackson. This is caught. Touchdown Raiders. Davante Adams with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Prescott to throw it. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Prescott on 4th down. Gets into a crowd and intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And Prescott, his third interception. Anthony Averett picks it. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Working the middle here, that's complete to Moreau, the tight end. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal.
13.
They go play action with Jackson. Rolling to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Second down and goal. Jackson. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Now it's Jackson. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Steps away. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Foster Moreau in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders are able to add on to their first half lead.
I thought that was a nice job there, feeling the pressure and rolling out away from it and keeping the play alive. And I think he did it with the idea that his tight end would find his way free in the end zone, and his confidence was rewarded.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
We change it.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Looking deep for Adams. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Well, for Lamar Jackson, we know all about how dangerous he is running the football, but he can really sling it as well, and he connects on a big one there. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down, escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Prescott's throw caught here by Metcalf. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Prescott now. Left side complete to Lockett. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch...
And the Raiders have got him. Channing Tindall brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Yo. Hey.
And they'll try Michel here running on the right side. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6.
13. Middle.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll run out of the gun with Michel. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Lamar Jackson. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now
A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
This offense so far on third down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Prescott. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. The 40. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Seahawks get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You just kind of feel for the defense right now. This deficit, they have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. Oh, they're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
Now Jackson on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. And the Seahawks will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good...
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
To try again after the sack, Prescott. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
In motion comes the tight end left. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Play action. It's Jackson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
To throw is Jackson. And he'll just get rid of it. Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
3rd and goal, Jackson. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal from 28 yards out. The kick by Carlson is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A give for Walker running right. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Hey, kill. Hey, 47. It was 47.
Prescott to throw on 4th. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end.
Hey, kill.
On 1st and 10, Prescott going right back to Fant. He's got room at the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 35.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Anthony Averett picks it. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
It's been a fun game for him so far, but I think he tried to do just a little too much that time. Give the defense a rare win on that snap.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Jackson. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Here's Jackson to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter. And this will be a Seahawks first down as he gets this up past the 30. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Las Vegas, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4-7. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, It's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.